Hi, I'm Barry Goldman, the CEO of Pluton Biosciences. We are a next-generation microbial discovery platform, and if you can imagine it, a microbe already does it. There are 1 trillion species of microbes in the world, yet humans have only mined a tiny fraction of them. At Pluton, we want to mine the rest. Humans have been mining microbes and growing them for tens of thousands of years. For beer, for wine, bread, cheese. But it's only been in the last 100 years that we've isolated individual microbes. Yet those few microbes have generated trillions of dollars in revenue for antibiotics, for food and ag, and for diagnostics. Since that time, we have been sequencing millions of microbes. In fact, we sequence 1,000 microbes a day. That will lead us to the next generation of microbial products. We use a process we call micromining. Micromining starts by isolating the microbes in soil. In every tablespoon of soil, there are 10,000 individual species of microbes. It's impossible to find activity just from those 10,000. So we turn it into smaller populations, what we call subpopulations. There are 50 to 100 different microbes in each of those populations. We test those populations against what we need to find the activity. For example, activity against insects, to find new herbicides, to sequester carbon. Traditional ways of finding microbes is an analog approach. It's like using the yellow pages, slow, cumbersome. We use an approach that's digital, that's more like Google. We find novel microbes fast. We are going to tackle a big challenge, and that is to sequester carbon, take CO2 out of the atmosphere and put it into the soil by looking at these rare microbes that we can select. If we do this right, we can remove 1 to 2 gigatons of CO2 per year. That's between 3 and 6% of the total amount of CO2 that's put into the atmosphere by humans per year. The product can remove 1.7 tons of CO2 annually per acre. This represents for 300 million acres, about 500 million tons of CO2 per year. At $15 per ton per acre, that represents revenue of $3 billion per year. We are being sponsored by Bayer for our research. We will hold all the IP. We make a microbial cover crop. The advantage of this cover crop is it's much less per year. It will do the same thing as the 15 million acres of plant cover crops done today. But because microbes are smaller and easier to place into the soil, they will save growers a lot of time and effort and allow them to create more value from the carbon market that is developing. The carbon market is just developing now and is expected to be worth more than $30 billion by the end of this decade. Pluton Bio has an experienced team. We are already generating revenues and exceeding our milestones. We have strong industry partners. We are closing our bridge round by the end of this month, and we will finish our Series A by the end of this year.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Grand Farm.
Thanks for having me.
It's got to be fun watching yourself on the screen, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Everyone's dream come true, I bet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not too cold here for you, is it?
Oh, no, it's perfect for North Dakota.
There you go. You would expect nothing else, right?
That was a good politically correct answer. I like that. Well, great. Let's get some Q&A for you since you're here in person. So do you have any applications outside of agriculture?
Today, we do not. Right now, our focus is entirely on ag.
Take us through the application process and how it is applied to the field.
So our expectation is this is going to go right into the tank. So we don't have anything ready today. Right now we're in greenhouse. We're going into greenhouses very soon, and then we're hoping to go into the field early next year. Not hoping. We expect to go in the field early next year, and it should go right in the tank.
How are your products applied to the field?
Yeah, just like as you would a chemistry.
Awesome. Do your microbes work in all soil types, and what's the shelf life?
We don't know the shelf life yet. The expectation, we plan to have this at least 6 months shelf life. So not the 2 years I heard some of the earlier ones. 6 months is kind of what we're shooting for right now, but at any temperature. So to keep it stable over any temperature. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what the other question was.
No, it's okay. Are your microbes developed for specific regions and crops?
Today we're really looking in the Midwest, but our expectation is we're going to be looking at regions beyond just the Midwest.
Awesome. And then one last question for you. We got a lot of them, so there must be a lot of interest in what you're doing. So kudos. What's your competitive advantage over companies like Biomakers or Boost Biomes?
So two different groups. So one is diagnostic. Biomakers is a diagnostic play. So what's wrong with your field? We're going to tell you the answer. Yeah. Boost is really looking at traditional sorts of what microbes are out there. They are really a strictly biologicals. We're doing both biologicals and small molecules. So we're really trying to apply chemistries as well. So not only are we trying to solve carbon, but we're also trying to solve the next generation of herbicides, pesticides as well. With the focus on being microbes first, the next generation of microbes. How do we replace BT? What's the next BT?
Awesome.
Fantastic. Wow. And when you answer questions that quickly and precisely, you get through a lot of them. Thanks so much for joining us here in person. We really appreciate it.